Big night for rock music. My Chemical Romance just moments ago concluded their highly anticipated reunion show at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles, California. The show sold out in seconds when they announced it was going to happen, and they certainly delivered for the millions of you around the world who were watching streams on various social media platforms, for fans who were kind enough to stream it from the crowd, so those of us who couldn't make it were able to attend. It was very apparent that the band hasn't lost a step live, and if anything, this is probably one of their best shows to date. The pressure was on, and they delivered. They were raw, they were intense, they were certainly authentic. Last night, when the band was doing their final preparations before tonight's show, there were fans who stayed overnight to make sure they didn't miss this gig. A testament to My Chemical Romance fans. They are always so passionate, and members of My Chemical Romance actually came out and gave them blankets to make sure that they weren't freezing outside.
Say hi to Brazil, please.
Hi. Did you get one? Hi. You have a blanket? I don't have one. You don't have one. Did everybody get one?
Thank you for coming out for us.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Now, if that wasn't cool enough, My Chemical Romance again put on a great show. We have a few notes from the show to give you sort of a rundown from what we learned. They did dedicate the show to their longtime manager. Lauren Valencia managed them and other artists as well. She worked for Rock Nation, and she tragically earlier this year passed away after a courageous battle with cancer. Gerard Way took a moment during the show to dedicate this show to them, a very, very big nod to her legacy. He said that they wouldn't have been there today. They wouldn't be there as a band in general if it wasn't for her believing in them, and her family was also on hand for the show. He said, according to Rock Sound, we didn't know if this was ever going to happen again, so we really appreciate you guys showing up. And again, they dedicated it to their longtime manager, Lauren Valencia, who passed away tragically back in July. And Gerard Way, for his part, looked amazing and sounded amazing live. I don't think that we've seen a comeback show from a band that was this perfect in quite some time. If a band's going to come back, this is what it should look like. My Chemical Romance certainly delivered tonight. They sounded great. It was raw and authentic. They weren't doing backing tracks or anything like that. It was a straight up rock show. It wasn't overdone with pyro or special effects to mask the music. It was just this band up on stage, minimal effects, singing their hearts out, and along with the fans and the crowd. There are a lot of questions as well about inevitably when My Chemical Romance is going to announce a tour. It just makes sense that they are going to announce a tour. We know that they are playing some additional dates around the world so far, but undoubtedly this band at some point within the next year is going to embark on a major tour that's going to be one of the top selling tours of the year. This small comeback show, granted they probably could have played an arena or a stadium and sold it out in short order, but this small intimate comeback show was trending worldwide today and yesterday. That goes to show you that this band is going to play a major tour if they like money. And I certainly know they're not driven by money, but that is a factor for everyone. And obviously they also love playing for their fans. So if you're hoping and you're sad that you missed out on this show, don't worry. The band's going to get to you or somewhere near you, where at worst case scenario, you drive a couple hours to go see this band live. And I cannot wait until they hopefully come to my neck of the woods, because even though admittedly I haven't been a huge My Chemical Romance fan, I've always admired their hits. I was familiar with them. I just hadn't dove that deep into their discography. But now this resurgence that they're having, this comeback that they're doing, has really made me want to actually go back and really dive deep into those records. So if you have any particular songs that you think that or records particularly that you think I should really focus on, let me know in the comments down below. But I just want to tip my imaginary hat that I don't have on my giant head to the band, because they came back. This is a prime example of doing it for yourselves and also doing it for the fans, giving people what they want to see. And they did it right, man. They took time off. They took all the time they needed in the world to get to the point where they felt good about coming back. And they did it, man. There was no BS with this band. They didn't lead us on in the press. They didn't talk shit about each other. They just came back and put on a great show for the fans. You can tell they love their fans. You can tell they love their friends and family. And it was right before Christmas. And it couldn't have been more of a positive show is all I'm saying. So I tip my imaginary cap to them. Anyways, we're going to keep an eye on it. We'll let you know if we hear anything about tour dates or any future engagements from My Chemical Romance aside from what has already been announced. Anyways, that's all for now. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking hard rock and heavy metal news. Thanks so much for joining us today at Rock Feed, and we'll see you all very soon.